Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my opinions whether or not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be sacked by Manchester United right now. And I know you're probably thinking the Glazers have already come out in the last few days or so and saying that they are backing their guy Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which I got no clue why. Hint hint, giving my own opinion whether or not he should be sacked or not. So it looks like right now it's very unlikely that he'll be let go. However, we've seen the Glazers give Mourinho like a 2-year contract and sack him a few months later. So let's not literally put this out of the way completely, because we never know with them. It potentially might still happen and he may still get sacked later on down the line. But come on man, let's talk about where Manchester United are in the table right now. They're like 7th or 8th place. 9 points off top of the Premier League table. They literally lost to their arch nemesis 5-0 against Liverpool, and even Man City 2-0 at Old Trafford, both of those games. So things for United right now aren't looking so good right now, and you had fans even predicting them to be in a title race with Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool. But before going into this video, you know I'm going to say, make sure you guys like, comment and hit that big subscribe button right there. Make sure you guys give me your own opinions in the comment section. Should Manchester United sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to look for another manager before it's too late, that they might not even finish in the top 4? So the first thing we're going to be talking about is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and how well he's actually done for Manchester United. And it's not all doom and gloom at the moment. And I have to be honest, he's done so much more and exceeded expectations which I didn't have and so many other fans didn't have of Manchester United. So I'm actually going to give him his credit, give him his due, give him his flowers for actually taking Manchester United where a lot of fans didn't even think they could actually turn up under this manager. This guy hasn't really had experience in the top flight, obviously managing Cardiff, but he got relegated. So obviously we were not delusioned to think that he was going to take Manchester United to the promised land, but he still hasn't. Manchester United fans and other fans were still right. He didn't take Manchester United back to the glory days because he still hasn't won a trophy. But it's undeniable that I must talk about the good things he's done. Honestly, when he took over that squad, they were absolutely atrocious in terms of the quality. They still had players like Fellaini, Mkhitaryan, other players like Jones, Smalling still in and around the squad. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, year by year, transfer window by transfer window, has improved the squad so marvellously that you're looking at world-class players in pretty much every single department. You're seeing players like Maguire, Varane replacing the dead players of Phil Jones and Smalling. Even the midfielders like Bruno, Fernandes, Pogba picking up form, replacing players like Mkhitaryan and Fellaini. You got Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players of all time, back. And although Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may not be the director of football, he has still built and installed some sort of culture where players do have fun playing under him, because obviously he's actually a very, very nice man when it comes to style of management. He's very, very fun to play under, and it doesn't feel like he's going to harass or attack you in the media like managers in the past like Jose Mourinho has done, which has literally destroyed confidence in the dressing room. The confidence was abysmal under Mourinho, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought that back up in terms of his style of management. Putting his arms around certain players, saying that you're a good player, making them feel comfortable to perform. Players like Luke Shaw, who was literally getting cussed out in the media by Mourinho being overweight. Now he looks like one of the best left backs in the world. Marcus Rashford, an outcast in that Mourinho side, a fringe player. He's stepping up and scoring 15 plus goals pretty much every single season now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Even the growth of Greenwood as a young player, we have to give so much credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the way he's taken him under his wing, helping him improve parts of his games which he didn't have before. So it's undeniable that he's been such a great help. And even Pogba, the main guy Pogba, it looks like he feels much more comfortable at Manchester United because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But like I've always said, all good things come to an end. And I know it's a fairy tale ending and everyone wants to see a club legend like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United succeed. But when the time comes and it shows that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of depth, you have to let him go. And I know this is not Manchester United's style of managing the club or running it. They like giving managers time because of how little time they gave Mourinho and Van Gaal, and literally how they had to endure rebuilding job after rebuilding job, sacking their managers very quickly. You have to let Ole Gunnar Solskjaer go. And you've got evidence right in front of you of why it would be successful. We saw Frank Lampard pretty much do the same thing as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, endure a transfer ban at Chelsea, seeing a club legend that has a goal, and he was able to rebuild the squad, get them into top 4 without any world-class players, and improving the squad with bringing players like Havertz, Werner in. And when it just showed he was out of depth, when it showed it was too much of a task for him to actually take Chelsea to the next step, Chelsea pulled the plug and sacked him. And that's what Manchester United have to do, because it's clear as day Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given the chance. he's been given the resources, he finally has the players, but why is he not being able to compete with the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City? He has everything he needs, but he's still unable to do it. And the difference is, let's be honest, is the manager. And I'll get onto this later on in the video, but honestly, it's so clear as day, and Manchester United fans will probably not even argue with this. There's just a gulf in talent, a gulf in quality in terms of the style of management with Manchester United compared with the other top 4 sides. So Manchester United have to let him go, but I'll get on into this later on in the video. So the next part of the video I'm going to be talking about is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no clear philosophy, no real set way of playing in terms of his style of football. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He really looks clueless. And before I go and dive into this and really analyse his style of play, let me just talk about why you need a style of play. And the reason why you need a set style of play, a distinct set style of play you play nearly week in, week out, obviously adjust accustomed to different opponents. However, the majority of the 38 games, you have to play the same style of football. And that same style of football provide them a level of consistency, a level of knowledge. They know what to do week in, week out, so they can perform it on the pitch. But the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps changing it here and there, there's no real consistency, there's no real pattern or rhythm within the Manchester United style of play. And that's what literally leads to their inconsistent performances and inconsistent results. So it's so important, especially because a 38 game time frame, a 38 game season, to provide a clear set way of playing so the players can get used to it every single game and get better with their style of play pretty much over and over again every single time they play another game during the season. However, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't really do this. And let me just talk about the other top managers, and you probably already know this, I shouldn't really go on about this too long, but if you look at any other manager in the top 3 or top 4, top 5, if you don't talk about Conte or Tuchel, you know how they set up. You know they're going to play 3 at the back, whether that's Conte playing his defensive style, 3 at the back, or if it's Tuchel playing more of a possession-based Tuchel football. Or if you want to look at Klopp or Pep Guardiola, we know how they play. Liverpool more direct compared to Man City, whereas Man City favour tiki-taka. We know their set way of playing and we know what they want to do at the end of the day. With Manchester United, we pretty much have no clue what they want to do. We've seen it in games this season where they've won, and the reason why they're winning this game is not really because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's because the players have been bailing them out. We see Cristiano Ronaldo scoring goals in the 80th, 90th minute so many times this season against opposition teams, which Manchester United should be winning comfortably if they had a set way of playing, but clearly they don't. Manchester United rely on individual players to produce individual magic. We've seen it with Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, outrageous, talented, on top level passes to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of jail in terms of his style of management. Don't get me wrong though, we've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer change it up with a 5 at the back against Tottenham and have great success. But when they played against a real team like Manchester City, what happened to them? They got absolutely destroyed. They got toyed with. 2-0 was a kind result for Manchester United and Ole, and you see it in his face when he was smiling at the end of the game because he knew with relief that potentially the score could have been a lot worse. So even if he choops and changes his style of football, we know that that's not really his style of football because the players aren't really used to it and they haven't been playing it for a sustained amount of time. We know he's just freestyling, he's changing it up, seeing what will work here and there. And yes, you can do it from a week in, week out basis, but you can't do it over a 38 game time frame when it comes to playing football games. You have to have a consistent way of playing to have any success in this Premier League. So the next part I'm going to be talking about is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his mentality when it comes to winning. And for someone who's played for Manchester United, he has Manchester United DNA running through his veins. A guy who scored a Champions League winning goal in '99 to help Manchester United complete the treble. You would think he would have much more of a winning mentality. And I know this is very hard to weigh up and actually analyse whether or not he has it. But I'm just basing it off his body language, his mannerisms, the way he talks in his interviews, post-match games. The way he talks, he's just pretty much like, the guys weren't at the races, the team weren't playing that good, but don't worry, we'll literally win next game or we'll try our best next game. There's no real conviction, there's no real heart, there's no real hunger for him to try win trophies or even win games, the way he's talking in these interviews. I've seen Tuchel, I've seen Conte outrage, even Pep literally throw fits on the touchline when a player makes a mistake, let alone losing a game. But literally every single time Manchester United don't get a result, it's that smirk, it's that smile. You can just tell in the locker rooms, in the changing rooms after the game, he's probably tapping them on the shoulder thinking, don't worry, we'll get them next time. It's not that deep. It doesn't really matter that much. And you don't need this sort of mentality when it comes to winning trophies. You need a manager with hunger, with desire. I know it's cliches, but you actually need a manager who will hold you accountable. But maybe, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is worried about how the players felt under Mourinho when he was calling them out in the interviews, post-match games, like Luke Shaw about his weight, or Pogba not really trying that hard, and that literally outcasted the players, making them feel not part of the team. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is afraid of doing that, especially to big world-class players who will actually get him sacked like they did with Mourinho. However, you need to find that perfect balance of protecting your players and literally criticising your players. Because if you protect your players too much, like we've seen in Arsene Wenger, they're not going to repay you. They're just going to feel like a safe space. It's going to feel like, okay, it doesn't really matter. If we lose, what's really the worst going to happen? The manager's not going to drop me. They're not going to be really angry. He's just going to carry on playing me. And this is not the style of management Manchester United will need. They need a real authoritative leader who's going to hold these players accountable when they don't play well. And it's so clear as day that his style of management isn't actually helping Manchester United win any trophies, because they haven't won trophies for the last 3 or 4 years or so. You're not going to have to spark a light underneath these Manchester United players' belly. You need to do something. Kick them up the backside. Criticise them in the media. Try get a reaction out of them. Even Gareth Southgate did that with Trent, even though he didn't go to the Euros. But when Gareth Southgate held Trent Alexander-Arnold accountable for his poor performances for Liverpool, trying to scare him that he won't start for England, we saw the best of Trent's football at the end of last season. But with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not playing these sort of man games. He's not doing anything. He's making them feel comfortable, making them feel like the next day will arrive, when other managers will make sure that you know that if you don't perform well, you're just going to be dropped. So the next topic I'm going to be talking about is, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does get sacked, who should Manchester United appoint as their new manager? And for the first time on my YouTube channel, honestly, I just feel speechless. I don't know myself, because the Manchester United have literally procrastinated in this. They've had chances at Pochettino, they've had chances with Conte, but they've literally let them both go to other rival clubs. Although the club didn't want to be reactionary, they needed to be proactive, and they weren't proactive because they just let themselves still be stuck with this manager. Potentially names out there still, Zidane. Obviously, he's a great manager. We saw him at Real Madrid, literally managed so many egos, helped them win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And this might be a similar situation, because Real Madrid had a lot of egos, a lot of personality, a lot of character in that dressing room. And Manchester United sort of have the same thing with Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Maguire, etc. Well-established, seasoned international players. So we know Zidane has the sort of cachet to manage these sort of egos and provide the best style of football to get Manchester United to win trophies. But at the end of the day, we know Manchester United don't really like playing a defensive style of football, and we know Zidane is much more pragmatic than any other manager out there which Manchester United could go for, and that's not the Manchester United way, even though I thought the Manchester United way was winning trophies, but obviously Manchester United fans don't really care about that, but that's neither here or there. Obviously there's Ten Hag as well out there, who would play a very, very attractive style of football and could get the best out of Donny van de Beek, who's literally been outcasted on the bench for years, it feels like, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we know, like, is he going to be able to come to the Premier League and say a light, especially with the other world-class managers still in this league? Does it still feel like a step below the other managers in this league? Will Manchester United would want to risk it for another middle-of-the-park manager in this league? And I know he's a way better manager compared to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but in the grand scheme of things, he's not a Conte, he's not a Tuchel, he's not a Klopp, or he's not a Pep Guardiola. But it'll be interesting to see what Manchester United do. I do feel like he needs to be sacked, but Manchester United board, I guess it does make sense. You still need a plan. You can't be Tottenham and sack a manager and have no idea what you're going to do and appoint Ryan Mason like you might do with Carrick. You need some sort of succession plan. And Manchester United could have had many, but they weren't reacting quick enough. So it'll be interesting to see what Manchester United do. And let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think Manchester United should do? Is it too late right now to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or is it never too late to try bring in another manager who do such a better job? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching my video. See you in the next one.